Okay, quick video on everyone's favorite topic, and that is breathing. So we're going to talk about a breathing technique called box breathing. I first started hearing about the box breathing technique listening to a Navy SEAL commander talking about how they would teach this technique to Navy SEALs to utilize in high stress situations. So in order to control your heart rate, control your stress response, keep a clear mind. So this is the technique that the Navy SEALs would use to try to keep their bodies calm when they were under pressure. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about the technique and how it can actually be useful when you're doing things like stretching, mobilizing, and even some different exercises you could use this technique for. So I'm going to I'm going to lie on my back to show you. So the box breathing technique, you could get, if you want to try it out, you could get in a relaxed position and you're going to be counting while you're breathing. So it's going to be in 4-second increments. So what you're going to do, so a common kind of misconception when it comes to breathing is that everyone will tell you to breathe into your belly. And the reason they tell you that is to try and utilize your diaphragm more, so to perform more diaphragmatic breathing. What happens with a lot of people when they're stressed out is they do this chest breathing. It's very shallow, and it's almost like you're hyperventilating. So people will tell you to breathe into your belly. So some people might have you put your hands on your stomach and let your belly rise as you breathe in. That's not a bad idea. It's just taking away from some other things that should happen while you're breathing. So another aspect of taking, a good breath is rib expansion. So you want your ribs to come out and in while your stomach is also going to move. So you should start your breath going into your stomach, and then your ribs should also expand. So this whole cavity down here should open up in every direction, as opposed to just pulling your air down into your stomach, which is a technique that a lot of people will utilize. So think about your stomach puffing up and expanding, but also think about your rib cage expanding as you take a really deep breath. So think about that as you're breathing. So as far as the counting goes, like I was just talking about, you're going to breathe in for 4 seconds. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. After you inhale for 4 seconds, you're going to hold your air in for 4 seconds. So you're going to breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to hold. And you're going to count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to exhale. So you're going to breathe out. So you're going to blow out 1, 2, 3, 4. Then when your air is out, you're going to also hold your air out for 4 seconds. So when it's out, it's going to be hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. So how I like to do it is I go in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. And then you would repeat by drawing back in. So in, count to 4, hold, count to 4, out, count to 4, and then hold again, count to 4 before you repeat. So you could try that lying on your back and just work on your count. So you go in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. And what this does when you have that cadence and that tempo when you're breathing, 6 of those breaths has been shown to lower your blood pressure. So if you're starting to get anxious, angry, you're in a stressful situation, 6 of those breaths could bring your blood pressure back down to a normal level. It could start to bring down your cortisol level, which is your stress hormone level. So it brings down your body's stress response, and you can slow your heart rate, calm your body, which allows you to use your head and your brain more clearly. So when you're anxious or under stress, blood moves into your muscles because it's getting ready to do something, and it actually takes away from your brain's capacity to utilize, your thoughts and your mind. And if you take 6 of those breaths, your heart rate, your blood pressure will come back down, blood will flow back into your brain, and you can think a little bit more clearly, which is, like I said, why the Navy SEALs use it for these high pressure situations, so that they could still make like crisp decisions and kind of keep their their nerves under control. So another thing to note is that if you take one of those breaths properly, 4 seconds in, 4-second hold, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds hold, that's 16 seconds. So if you're doing other things and you utilize this breath count, you'll know how many seconds you've been doing whatever you're doing. So for example, it's a good idea in a plank. So if you're going to get up in a plank, you can get into your plank position and start to catch, you use that breath count. So if you did 16 seconds per cycle, pretty much times 4 is about a minute. So if you were going to do a 1-minute plank, you would count in, 2, 3, 4. You would go through those breath cycles, 4 breath cycles, and you're at about 1 minute. So you want to do a 1-minute plank with proper breathing. You do 4 of those breath cycles, you're at a minute. It's awesome for stretching. So if you get into a stretch, let's say I'm sitting in this 90-90 position, I want to open up my hips a little bit. I can hang out here. Let's say I want to do 2 minutes. I would do 8 breath cycles. Okay, so it's pretty basic math. If you're trying to do something for a specific amount of time, usually with static holds like a plank, side plank, hollow hold, and especially something like if you're stretching, utilizing different yoga poses, let's say you want to do it for a minute, 4 breath cycles at that 4 count, and you're at about 1 minute, and you're going to be controlling your heart rate and breathing properly the whole time. So that's box breathing, a specific breathing technique. I found it very useful. I've been doing a lot of my spinal decompression Eldoa positions, which I've made a video about before, but a lot of different stretches, things that look like yoga. And I'm counting my breath cycles, so I know I stay into the stretch long enough. I know for about how long, and I know I'm breathing properly for the entire time. So if you have any questions, shoot me a message, comment on this video, and just lie on your back and try out that technique with the count. You could use it trying to go to sleep. It helps, like I said, lower your body's stress level, so it could help you fall asleep. If you're lying in bed, you want to turn off your mind a little bit. Lay there, use that breath count, and just try to let your body relax. It's also good at the end of a workout. So if you were just working out and your body's kind of all revved up, just try to lay on the floor, put your arms out, and just take about 10 of those breath cycles. And it's a great way to cool down and bring your body back to a rested state.